All right, let's talk about how to tackle something new and complex without getting totally overwhelmed. We're going to use learning to trade as our main example today, but really, this is a blueprint you can use for pretty much any big challenge you take on. Let's get into it.
Have you ever had that moment? You decide you're going to learn something new. Maybe it's coding, a musical instrument, or trading. And then you just get hit by this tidal wave of information. All this jargon, all these concepts. It feels like you're drowning, right? Well, you're definitely not alone.
And what's really fascinating is, it's not just you. Check this out. Research shows that a whopping 98% of organizations struggle to even document their own processes. Think about that. If giant companies with huge resources are lost without a clear plan, it's no wonder we feel that way. This isn't on you, it's a planning problem. And that really brings us to what I like to call the overwhelm epidemic. When you start something new, you're basically the CEO, the manager, and the brand new intern all rolled into one. But you've been given zero instructions. It's like you're trying to build the plane while you're flying it.
So just grinding it out, trying harder, that's not the answer. Pushing through the fog without a map is just going to get you more lost. The real solution is to stop, take a step back, and actually build a better plan, a blueprint.
And that is the absolute core of what we're talking about today. A blueprint, a step-by-step guide, is the thing that turns all that chaos into clarity. It is the single most powerful tool for conquering complexity, whether you're trying to build a business or figure out the financial markets.
Having a personal blueprint like this is a total game changer. It gives you consistency, it saves you a ton of time by helping you sidestep all those classic rookie mistakes, and it builds your confidence with every little step forward. It's your framework for learning in a smart, organized way.
Okay, so let's actually build our blueprint, starting with step 1, the foundation. I mean, you wouldn't build a house on shaky ground, right? It's the exact same idea here. For trading, this means learning the basic language. We'll kick things off with just 3 key terms.
First up, a pip. Super simple. This is just the tiniest unit of measurement for a currency pair. Think of it like a single cent in a dollar. It's how you count your profit or loss in really small increments. See? Easy enough.
Next, we have the spread. So whenever you look at a currency, you'll see 2 prices, one to buy and one to sell. The tiny little gap between them, that's the spread. It's basically how the broker gets paid for making the trade happen. Knowing this helps you see the built-in cost of every single move you make.
And finally, leverage. Now this one is absolutely critical. Leverage lets you control a big chunk of money with just a small amount of your own. It can make your potential profits huge. But, and you really got to hear this, it magnifies your losses just as easily. It is a powerful, powerful tool that you have to treat with a ton of respect.
Okay, so with some basic vocabulary under our belt, we can move to the next part of the blueprint, actually designing your strategy. Because acting without a plan, that's not trading, that's just gambling. A strategy is what separates a disciplined trader from someone who's just hoping for the best.
Now, your trading plan doesn't have to be some super complicated document. It just has to be clear. It really should just answer these 4 questions. What am I trying to achieve financially? What specifically has to happen for me to get into a trade or get out of one? How am I going to manage my risk? And what exactly am I going to focus on trading?
And here is why that plan is so important. When you don't have clear rules, emotion takes the wheel. Fear and greed, those are the 2 things that absolutely destroy most traders. They just shove logic right out of the way. Your plan is your anchor when the market gets emotional and chaotic. And inside that plan, risk management is king. Your number 1 rule, your shield, is the 1 to 2% rule. Never, ever risk more than 1 or 2% of your entire capital on one trade. And then you have automated orders, a stop loss that protects you from a disaster, and a take profit that locks in your wins. These are completely non-negotiable.
All right, now we get to what might be the most powerful part of this whole blueprint. We've got our foundation, we've designed our strategy on paper. Now it's time for a full dress rehearsal, but with 0 risk involved.
This is where all that theory smacks into practice. So what's the one tool that lets you test everything we just talked about? Your strategy, your risk rules, your own discipline, in a live market without risking a single dollar?
The demo account. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate training ground. It's basically a flight simulator for traders. A demo account lets you trade with virtual money, but you're doing it in real time, with real market conditions. You get to learn all the little quirks of your trading platform, you can test your entry and exit rules, and you can see if your strategy actually has legs, all while building the confidence you're going to need when real money is on the line.
Okay, so once you have your foundation, your strategy, and you've rehearsed it, you can finally, confidently choose your arena. This is where your plan meets the real world. So let's look at two really popular options: the old school world of Forex and the new frontier of crypto.
This table breaks down the differences so well. I mean, look at Forex. It's enormous, trading over $7.5 trillion a day, which makes it pretty stable, it's heavily regulated, and tends to move based on things like economic data. Crypto, on the other hand, is way smaller, barely regulated, and it is incredibly volatile. Prices can swing like crazy based on a single tweet or some tech news. Oh, and Forex sleeps on the weekends. Crypto never does.
So the trade-off here is pretty clear. Forex gives you a much more stable, predictable playground with a lot of regulatory protection. Cryptocurrency offers that lottery ticket potential for insane growth, but it comes with gut-wrenching volatility and way, way higher risk.
And that's exactly why we built the blueprint first. See, the choice isn't about which market is better, it's about which market is better for you, the one that actually fits with the financial goals and the risk rules that you've already laid out in your own plan.
You know, we use trading as our big example, but this three-step blueprint, foundation, strategy, rehearsal, it works for any complex skill. You now have a framework to break down complexity and learn in a methodical way. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?